Welcome, everyone. What's up, fam? My name is the Elementalist. My friends call me Heaven. We're here to talk a bit about League, watch some good games. We're really excited. We got UMT Maroon versus the NMT Miners, which is hilarious because I have family that are miners.
This is Touch Cloud, play for Tan. Get the chance to hop in, commentate on the Maroon team here, and I went to high school in Phillipsburg, and they were the prospectors. So
Oh, really?
A plus, yeah.
That's awesome. So it looks like bans.
So
Oh,
they are targeting bot lane pretty heavy. They banned out the Tart Kaisa, and it looks like they also don't want our mid laner picking up the doggo Nefari.
which is interesting because as I've been playing, I've never really been intimidated by Nefari or Nefari, however you want to say her name. But I mean, that champion can really get rolling. It's interesting though that they also they took out Lulu because
Yeah.
I wouldn't see Lulu as that big of a threat, but I can see that if they're trying to avoid like any Kog'Maws or any other hyper carries that Lulu's helping out.
And especially with the first pick, Kled, Lulu can just ruin his engage by turning him into a nice little squirrel rather than a terrorist on a. What is his creature? I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's a Scarl.
I know the name, but
No, I don't know. That's just like what
yeah.
it's a dinosaur. No, it's a Scarl. It's its own unique thing. But
So-
we'll see. So we have Jarvan, Orianna. Orianna is actually one of my favorite mid laners. So that is going to be a very fun pick to have Jarvan in jungle.
And Maroon's not showing their cards too hard yet. They have more of an enabling mid laner, and J4, he's real strong in meta right now, but he's mostly for setup.
Mm-hmm.
So
But he does still have a lot of utility. He can single out a lot of champions with his ult. He can knock people out. There's a lot of things that they can do. And then with the Jax there too. Look at that.
pick Jax to try and neutralize the top lane because Kled's just going to want to split and then ult in. Jax is a great counter split pusher, so he's going to be able to hold his own against Kled.
Well, I'm just trying to think like whenever they when or if they do have any 5v5 fights, if Orianna puts that ball on Jax or Jarvan, they just jump in. That is a wombo combo waiting to happen.
They have some real good synergies just with the mid jungle. It should enable some easy picks, especially if Orianna's able to synergize and link up her roaming with Jarvan. But we'll have to see what Maroon's looking for their bot lane here. Looks like both teams have held their bot lanes for the last picks.
Those are a lot of bot lane bans too. There's another one for Ashe. Currently, we're waiting for the last ban.
Looks like they're not a fan of Neonara's Taric or her Lux.
Oh, and there goes the Nautilus. So 2 tanks, 2 ADCs, 3 support / mage. No,
it's
that's more
interesting
than
they're
that.
banning out so many engage supports, being that both teams have picked both like J4 and Kled as far as their engage. They already have the engage on both teams, so it's kind of interesting they're banning so much engage out of the bot lane as well.
It's actually surprising to me. I never would have thought I'd see the day where Rel deserves a ban.
Yeah, and I'm
let's
glad
be
for
honest.
it. First time I saw Rel was G2 playing Rel in Worlds forever ago. And that was when I was first getting back into League, and I was like, I want to play that champion.
Oh, yeah.
Mickey makes this look like a menace. And then she got kind of pushed out of meta for a while. So I'm really glad to see her back.
It is good. I'm also very proud of just some of like these updates of this. Like I'm pretty sure that Sivir can beat me up like legitimately now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh dang. But let's see, we have a Twitch and a Moo. Okay.
And a Moo support. Interesting. So they have really good lockdown. They're going to have to mostly use it for the Twitch, though.
Yeah, I don't see who they would really, if they can get, well, depending on who they have is the last, I think support's picking right now. Okay, that's very good because that can counteract everything that a Moo can throw at them.
As long as she's not hit by it. The one downside to Milio is his ultimate does not self-cleanse. So if he himself is CC'd, he's not able to cleanse the rest of the team with the ult.
That is true.
So positioning is going to be real important for Maroon side here to get the immense value out of Milio.
Yeah, just looking at it though, I think that I mean, I'm biased because obviously I'm definitely rooting for UMT Maroon, right? But if I were just looking just at pure CC alone and ability to just be a menace on the field, I think that UMT would have the much stronger team just looking at face value, right? Like whenever I see a Graves, I'm like, okay, annoying, but I'm never like afraid. But whenever I see like a Jax, I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna have to deal with this guy, yes or yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No worries.
So we'll have a slight delay on the start of the game with New Mexico having a little bit of issues. But to your point, yeah, Jax has been a menace since the game began, back when he could dodge tower shots. So
Oh, I hated that. I forgot about that one. Yeah, that was something I blocked from my brain.
But as far as when it comes down to a slugfest, I want to say that NMT probably has a better, flat out, easier to execute anyway, team fight. But I think Maroon's pick potential, that is going to be how they have to look to win this, because with the Jarvan, with the Twitch stealth, and the Orianna being able to speed him up and wombo combo with the flag and drag ult,
They both
Maroon
have
has
very
really good like burst pick potential. But if a Mumu gets in with a good R, it's going to spell trouble for Maroon.
Yeah, I think that's what actually the NMT miners are going to be looking to do. At least that's what I would do, because just looking, all they need is Sivir to really speed them up. And then a Mumu is going to be just flying. And then with Kled too, they can get those people in very, very quickly. And then it's just up to Sivir, Graves, and Syndra to just do the damage. So if Kled and a Mumu can just survive to just lock down key targets, that could spell a lot of bad stuff for us. But at the same time, we have Melio. Twitch can go invisible, maybe flank. And if Twitch is able to flank with Orianna, oh my gosh. Like it'll be good. I'm really hoping that their technical difficulties get worked out so that we can see this, because I just want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this play out. Where do you think the jungle focus is going to be this game, starting on the miner side?
Gosh, I'm not even quite sure. So if I was Graves jungle, what are they, blue side now?
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, I'm as a jungle, I still start blue. But if I were them, I would want to get top lane running. Just because if I could get top lane running, there's one of your tanks, and then you can spread that lead wherever. Because then Kled can just, once top lane is his, he can just start running down any of the other lanes and just pushing out, or he can just run straight through that river. To just, it just is. I think it's going to depend on the first 5 minutes, honestly, because it's really difficult as far as like a jungler is concerned. Because okay, which of my teams is going to be losing right now? Which of my lanes is going to be like winning? Like Kled may not even have any CS, right? So we're definitely not going to be wanting to mess with them at all.
And I do think it was kind of a handshake and draft as far as the Kled Jax. I would want to get Kled ahead, because if you get him ahead, he's really great at initiating, enabling the team to just like steamroll through.
And he can take towers too. So if he gets ahead, then he can just chop the towers just 1-2.
As far as the Maroon side, well, I guess to finish on the New Mexico side, Graves, while he puts out a lot of damage in his ganks, he's not the best at ganking. So as long as there's decent vision,
he's gonna have to wait till at least level 3.
It's gonna have to be mostly top side, maybe a little bit of mid. Although Orianna is able to play and farm pretty safe. As far as the Maroon goes, though, I do think that Jarvan should be putting his focus bottom. If you can get a Twitch ahead, the range that he gets from spray and pray, even with the Amumu, like they're really going to be able to run away with that if they're able to get their bot lane ahead. Yeah,
the big thing is going to be like if your Graves, who can you gank? Because Orianna is. I mean, while immobile, isn't as immobile as you might think, especially once she hits level 6. Because I mean, self ult, you can do a lot of things that can help cut things down.
Yeah, she's got the self shielding. She has
speed
more
up
mobility
flows.
than you think because of the move speed off her W.
Mm-hmm. And then if he goes down bot lane, Melio, if he lands that kick, can at least push him out of the way, and then it's like, okay, there's a disengage right there. Or if they manage to lock down the ADC, Melio still has that ult, right? And unless Amumu locks him down to be able to keep him from doing that, it's not gonna go off how they think they will. So I do think that top lane would be the one to abuse, because Jax just has that leap.
Yeah, and Jax is a bit more difficult for Maroon side to gank and play for as well. with the dismount mechanic on Kled,
Mm-hmm.
where you might be able to jump and pop him off of Scarl, but then if you don't burst him out quick enough, he's right back up, he's healthy, and he might even 1v2.
And that's one of the things I hate about Kled. Like, oh, we killed him. No, you didn't. He killed you.
I think the most frustrating part about Kled is that the dismount from Scarl drops tower aggro, so he can tower dive you, and then once he gets kicked off Scarl, it'll kick the aggro back to minions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the. I just hate Kled, I think. Like, there's a few champions where like I like to play them, but whenever I'm playing, I don't like to see them. And those are like Kled, Singed, Pike.
Oh, I love playing Pike.
Oh, I love playing Pike, but man, when I see a Pike, I'm like, dang, I'm gonna have to like kill 2 of him to be able to kill him.
Yeah.
Or like a Tom Kench, same kind of thing. Like, there's these people that just like that kind of gray health, which Kled has with that, with his Scarl mechanic. But I think Jax, if he can just show that he is tougher and it can stand behind the minion waves, because if I'm not incorrect, Kled's little shotgun when he gets dismounted does not hit past the minions.
No, I believe you're right. I believe the projectiles, they don't pierce.
They're blocked, so Jax could hit him then, because if not, then Kled's going to get back up.
Yeah.
I do think, however, that I think that Sivir and Moo definitely are going to have the prio in bot lane, and that they're going to be the ones pushing. Because it's very hard for like a Tristana or a Sivir to not push. Like, Sivir presses one button and she auto pushes, just because everything's bouncing everywhere.
Thankfully for her rework, she has control over Ricochet now.
Yes.
But yeah, she used to be like Trist, where if you have a point in E, you're pushing the lane. Doesn't matter.
100%. Which was cool. I really like that, And so like we'll see how that kind of plays off. I think the mid lane's just going to be kind of like I honestly think it's going to be a farm lane, because they can farm at range.
Yeah. Syndra has the advantage of the pick potential if she lands her stun for Graves to come in and try and burst. However, she has to hit it, otherwise Orianna's just going to walk away and shrug off the attempt.
Yeah, I'm worried
However,
about that.
Jarvan has great from Fog of War, jump in, surprise you, knock you up, paired with the Orianna, where she can just shield them and get her burst in safely.
Honestly, if Jarvan is able to just wait out Syndra's E, so that if she uses it, he can just go in, because if she uses it and he's trying to dash to her, it knocks him straight out of it.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Like, it's very frustrating that she doesn't have to hit anything with the E and it'll still push you away.
Yeah, I mean, it's great whenever you're playing. Like, if you're Syndra in the mid lane, you're like, oh, I'm going to get ganked. And you're like, ah, crap, I missed everything. Ah, just kidding. That's great. But if not, yeah. So I think it's going to depend just on the timing that these individual players, especially the junglers for both sides, choose to gank, and who's going to control their lane better. Is Sivir going to auto push? Or are they going to have control and they're going to keep it at their tower? Who's going to cause who to extend? I think that's going to be one of the main things that we're going to see as far as jungle presence, is how they're going to exploit that particular thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of the game, at least the early game, is going to be on the shoulders of Jarvan for Maroon. And on New Mexico side, I think a lot of it's going to be on Syndra.
I can see that.
The QE, like, it surprises even the most seasoned players with the range sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So if Syndra is able to get in a roam or pair up a stun for Graves to come in and burst, it could spell trouble. But it's mostly on the back of Syndra for them. Whereas with Maroon side, it's all on J4 looking for the opportunities and, as you said, exploiting them, letting his laners. Hopefully he's able to give the kills over to Twitch, or you can kind of take it from and be greedy. But if there's ganks in the bot lane, you really want to leave it to your AD carry.
Yeah.
Twitch is, with gold, especially with a lead, is terrifying.
Though it's true. One of the things that I do worry seeing this group particularly is I am worried that I think that not us, but New Mexico, I should say, has the advantage on being able to snowball just because of the engage that they have early too. like with the Mumu. So if they do
once,
go down
once bot lane
lane,
hits 6, it is much simpler for them to execute the team fights.
and so they can really go, because especially with the Mumu's Q rework way back, and he has 2 of those little things.
He has 2. It's insane.
Yeah, so he has 3 like there's 2 skill shots and then an oops button for for the R. And so but looking, we have Jax and Jarvan with 2 dashes, right? Emilio is very much a disengaged person where they aren't really going for disengage at all. I mean, Syndra has a little bit, and Sivir, I mean, you can run away. I guess Kled can run away too.
The only disengage options that New Mexico really has is the Sivir R and like the Syndra peel.
Yeah, or a Mumu can be like, remember me and press R and everyone run away.
Die for the cause.
I can't count the number of times that's happened where like I'll go in, we're doing great, everyone, as they're losing. I'm like, no, everyone, remember me. Just go your own way.
The frustrating part is when your team goes, "Oh, Amumu ulted, we go back in." You're like, "No,
This is a tactical ult, guys.
I died so you could live."
That's one of the reasons why sometimes I think it's fun, even though people are like, "Well, that's just not what you should do. Like, you shouldn't play Grenade Amumu if you're being serious." I'm like, "But you can."
But as a support, you are there to enable your carries.
Yes, you are not there to steal it.
You shouldn't be playing for your own personal KDA as a support.
Nope, as a support, I think it's very rare unless it's somebody that I need to stay far away as. But in all of my tank supports, I don't know unless I'm having a really good game and we're just doing really well, if I have like a positive KDA on it, just because I have to keep everyone alive. I don't have money to begin with.
I might be 0-5, but I've got 25 assists.
Yes, and that's the thing. It's like, as an Alistair, I've done my part. I'm just sitting there. They can't kill me, but my team survives.
All right, looks like we're starting here on the Rift. Everyone bought items. Always good to see.
Yeah, I'm really glad they implemented the trinket automatically goes with you when you leave base.
Yeah, so even if you forget to purchase it, it'll always default you to the ward trinket.
Yeah, I remember that when I would leave base, forget it, I'd be like, oh crap. This is back in the days of actual pink wards, and you had to actually buy wards too.
Back when you could detect stealth with pink wards.
Oh, that was great. Okay, it looks like Kled and Syndra
Nobody's
getting a little
looking for
frisky.
No eager action.
Which is good. I like how Oriana's just sitting there dancing in the mid lane there.
I don't think either team has great invade. If anything, I would put it on New Mexico's side.
100%
with the second health bar on Kled and the double stun on Amumu.
Yeah.
But
that was a good little bit of vision that they put on there. They will now know that, okay, Graves is starting up in on his red, which I always start blue just because it's easy, and I'm like, let's just chill.
Syndra was able to get a similar ward, so they'll be able to see Jarvan pathing from Raptors to red and know where he's at on the second part of his clear.
Nothing on, New Mexico, but we have really cool names.
We do.
Of course, Borrowed Bagel does sound kind of cool for Graves, but, it just seems really official, and I very much appreciate it.
I like Nightfall as well. I think it's a pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of that name, actually. I can't count the number of names. Did you guys just type this in a Google search and just name that isn't taken? It just gives you something. Oh, yes.
That's got to be a tough thing for the new up and coming gamers. It's every name's taken. Every
good one too.
Yeah.
It's not only the really weird ones. You're like, wait, this was taken, but it's the really bad and good ones, and so you can't really do anything unique unless you go to a different world server, which sometimes I've done. And already Syndra looks like is poking out Oriana heavily,
abusing her level 1 damage. Looks like New Mexico got level 2 first in the bot lane.
Kled so far is pushing on Jax a lot, which isn't surprising.
New
frankly,
Mexico's looking to invade the jungle up there, looking to take Jarvan's Raptors.
Looks like Oriana isn't quite aware that that's going on right now, but it's very difficult for Oriana to respond.
She was harassed out and pushed under tower, so even seeing it, she can't stop it from happening. So it looks like all they were able to get away with was a Raptor camp, but it is one camp advantage for New Mexico's jungler.
Looking at bot lane again, so Sivir is pushing like I thought they would probably be doing. And looks like UMT Lucifer is having some struggles there, but the good thing about that is that Syndra will be overextended, especially just because of all that pushing. And Syndra, even it's hard to say how much mana Syndra really does spend.
Yeah,
She does have first strike, and so I don't blame her for wanting to go on the offensive.
And she needs to be able to punish Orianna early before she's able to get some extra points in W as well as her shield, because the idea of Orianna is to neutralize, safely farm, and then set up for ganks. So Syndra's got to bully her while she can.
Yep. And just looking at it too, so right now it looks like Kled backed, which is probably a good move on Kled's part, but Kled is going to definitely be looking to take Jax out, especially with that
he ran
ignite instead
as
of
well
TP.
instead of TP, so he was looking for a kill lane, but it looks like
Kled,
Maroon's got the advantage so far.
yeah, Kled's going to get knocked off of that with all those minions attacking him too.
It was a missed opportunity there for Graves. Like, he got priority. I think he was just greeting for the second scuttle here. But if Jax wanted any XP,
Here's our first little thing right here.
I think Graves wins these. I don't know
If he can
DK
somehow
should
get
be taking
behind,
this fight,
oh,
yeah.
that's too bad. And it's really, so Graves is smart in pushing this advantage right now, knowing that, oh, there you go, just in case he needs to run back. But knowing that the mid lane and the bot lane are both under serious pressure, so that if he does charge, it's just a 1v1. He also has level on Jarvan. It looks like Replay DK is being smart with it, going back, making sure that he's not still in the jungle, and then going back and farming Gromp.
I'm just now looking at the master he's chosen, and I'm kind of surprised to see Amumu having gone for Aftershock instead of Glacial, especially with the just raw amount of movement speed New Mexico's able to provide. You would have thought Glacial would have been a pick there, because they have a beefy enough team, and Maroon doesn't have a super bursty team, so you wouldn't think that he'd be in fear of really getting bursted out. So I don't think Aftershock is really necessary there. But
I'm trying to think, if I was in their shoes, why in the world would I, as the Amumu, choose that instead? Because that's one of I love going Glacial on Amumu. It's stupid. It's hilarious.
It's very strong. It's damage reduction and a slow, and really the only time you run Aftershock is for fear of being bursted out on your engage. Like, if the mid laners were swapped, I might understand it, because you throw in your Q, Syndra can just burst you out. But Orianna
100%.
doesn't really have that same single target threat, so
They might be a little bit scared of the Twitch's potential too, just because if Twitch starts getting rolling, like maybe they're trying to. Amumu's hoping that early Twitch game damage, especially when he gets to level 6, isn't going to be too much, so that he can scale. Here we see a good not really sneaky, but this is a very good smart play for New Mexico, taking an early dragon.
yeah, they had Maroon on a reset, full priority in all their lanes. I mean, aside from top lane, but in the realm of dragon, that's not really a factor. It's pre-14, so it's not like Jax got a TP down if it was off cooldown anyway.
So far, the CS advantage is looking, it's pretty even, except for that mid lane with Orianna just not able to truly go up without being just utterly punished.
And we've only seen a little bit of aggression out of Graves, but it was more to just get prio for taking camps and scuttles. We haven't seen any heavy gank attempts. Jarvan's been on the back foot as far as losing some camps and trying to keep pace with XP, but
And I think that's probably in part
he
because
might be looking mid here. I see a little Jarvan face moving up. Oh, Jax.
All right, well, there you go. Good job,
All right.
Jax, for first blood.
First blood to Maroon. DK's cut out, but he can just EQ over the wall.
That was actually a very, very smart play on Jax's on Jax's behalf, because if you saw, Kled went into the minions, lost Scarl almost immediately, and all of a sudden you have to get a number of attacks before you have that back. Oh, here's another battle.
Exhaust onto the Sivir.
There's the double Amumu Q.
Oh. Interesting. All right, well, it looks like bot lanes should get away with a double here. Nope, Sivir didn't greed for it.
I think that both of them have used their flash too. If Sivir would have healed, she may have had the movement in order to get Twitch, but luckily Twitch was able to stay just far enough out before the tower starts to hit them. And maybe that was one of the things that if I were Mumu again, like, I'm going to die because I'm a support. Like, I'll lock him down one more time. You get the kill.
It was a good flash past the minion's Q by the Amumu, who's able to break the minion block and get that second Q off, secure them the kill onto
Now this is I actually don't agree with this play on Kled. While I do admire the getting rid of vision, there's a whole wave there that now Jax can just control.
Yeah, Jax gets to decide whether it is into him or not. Especially with that kill, this should be Jax's lane unless Kled gets some help from the Graves. However, we got Herald as the only objective on the map. Nayu's clearing some vision down bot. We'll have to see if Maroon is able to come up and contest this Herald, because on reset, Graves should be resetting after his camp here and looking at Herald.
I actually think that the CS is just too even. I don't think that Kled can actually beat Jax.
Yeah, no, I don't think Kled beats Jax, but I think Amumu should be roaming up after he canceled their back. I would have thought that Amumu would reset and then, as the support,
And
go
then
up
go
and help
up.
secure the objective.
100%.
Because Jax he's winning the top lane now, so you need more than just jungle top versus jungle top, because Jax you'll feed Jax, and he's currently scary, but if you give him 2 more kills, he'll run away with the game.
Which right now, despite all that's going on in the top lane, again, I know I'm focusing a lot on top lane, but just seeing the characters that they've picked, those are going to be some very
some good poke. Force the Sivir ult. That's the one spooky thing about Milia, especially when paired with Twitch. If he puts down his W and gives him the enhanced range, Twitch is able to just fire from a full screen away.
Which is, I think, one of the reasons that they at least one of the things that they're hoping to do. Keep it going, Orianna.
Good first strike value there. I'm a bit surprised she didn't actually try and commit for the ult there. I think she might have had it with that last Q.
I think she would have just well. She still has her flash up as well.
I don't know about this engage here. You got the objective. I guess Jax is here. I didn't see that was the friendly Jax. These are the 2 kills on Jax.
Right there, and with that,
all right.
we have a kill on Jarvan and a kill on Orianna. The game is all of a sudden switched. Even though the gold values are even, it is not even right now.
It's definitely New Mexico's gold advantage is sitting in bot lane, and it is completely flipped for Maroon. We have all the advantage in top. I know in the first kill you can't really control it. You want to burst him out, but I was surprised they decided to give Lucifer the kill rather than to Jax.
Yes,
maybe
I
it was
would
to
have.
try and help him stabilize the lane and not get poked out so much, but.
If that's one of I'm actually really surprised Amumu didn't dive there either. To be completely
They're playing very
honest.
safe. With their advantage, as the Amumu, I would have been pinging my Sivir, like just the support, like, hey, I'm going to go in and ult. You
That's
get the kills.
exactly what I would have done too. But, maybe it's better that they're not doing that, because then the bot lane would have a very marked advantage, more so than they already do. Even though Sivir has that CS advantage, to know that Jax is winning, his lane, and Jarvan is winning in, well, you could contest the thing of winning. They have more dragons, blue team, obviously, but Jarvan's still
might
around.
have, I guess he's got a slight CS advantage, but in terms
He already
of,
has his mythic.
In terms of objectives, I think, it's interesting. Jarvan went for the Eclipse. He's going Burst rather than... The current strong in the meta is to run Gord Ranker Shojins, because Bruiser junglers are rampant in solo queue.
Bruisers, sometimes I miss the days of everyone just a squishy assassins love everything, and then then the tanks became too powerful, and it's just okay.
And this should be a dive onto Kled here.
Oh, that's gonna be a close one.
Ori
on
survived
Orianna.
that one. I think Jarvan rushed it there. They had a wave crashing. They got the dismount. Ooh, good Q to cancel out.
This will be
This is the remember me moment. Oh, with the flash and the ult, she makes it out. All right.
Yes, keep going up,
Whoa.
Fenrir. You don't want to just back up from that. That's totally okay. Your support is alive.
Well played by the Maroon support there. The Q to stop the Amumu actually getting the distance with his stun, and then the burst heal flash.
But what DK has done very well, or Jarvan I should say, is knowing that Graves is controlling that bot part of the jungle in the Dragon Pit was to go and get Herald.
Yep.
Because now that top lane is broken and Jax can be unleashed somewhat.
In the realm of the jungler, they always say don't go and try and salvage the losing side. Just play to your winning side.
And that is exactly what they're doing. And it's nothing on the player's bot side. Sometimes that's just how it goes. For those of us that are supports and ADCs, we all know.
It's if you're ahead and your jungler starts to ignore your lane, that's when you're frustrated with them. But if you're behind, you just got to do your best to play safe, get yourself back in the game.
That looks like a dead Twitch.
He's got
Oh,
flash. He
look
could make
at
it out.
that though.
Ooh. Is this
That was-
lethality Sever?
That was closer than I would have expected. That is a static shiv.
Static shiv. All right. Hard to tell. Just about every carry starts static shiv anymore.
Which is, again, I
Glad Wyatt
don't
brought
like
that
that
back.
either.
No. Ooh,
Oh,
the
that
ult.
was a very good move on Jax, getting ahead so
Don't
that
know
he
if
runs
gets
into
the-
it.
Yeah. He started to stun a little early. Oh, he got him right before the rematch.
There it is. Well,
played,
Jax
top lane.
has his fun power item. He has a full 2 items above Kled. And with that, Jax now has a bounty on their head. I think it's part the name.
Okay, good. I was like, hopefully he doesn't RN there because that is a lost fight.
The
there.
one thing that I say one of the things that UMT does have that is going for them is shields. The other team does not really have shields.
They have shields and move speed because Milio by default gives move speed with his E as well as the bonus damage from his passive.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna assume that Neu builds into the Shurelias. Then every ability, every heal, everything he does is going to provide move speed to his team.
And that's exactly what I do. That's one of the things I love about Melio is that you getting the right support items can do just wonders for your kit, which is what they should be doing. I believe that is what they're definitely going to be doing. But just kind of looking at it, if they want to, between Orianna and Melio, they can keep someone on their team alive for an awful long time.
They can. Hopefully long enough to survive the initial Wombo combo where all of New Mexico pushes are off of the Amumu ult.
Now, I'm wondering if Jax is going to go for a Sterax this game. Or Death Stance. I love those items. Those aren't really necessarily items you should be building on Jax. But
I don't know if it's still the popular build on Jax, but for a while, third item Zonias was what was being built on him just because of the AP scaling off his ultimate.
AP Jax is always so fun.
I think that's what the boss is currently playing in solo queue. He's playing full AP Jax.
Well, it's so strong. It just
His E, I didn't realize his E had such disgusting scaling with it as well.
Yeah, that's it's like, yeah, there's certain champions that can, yeah, there you go, that Syndra disengage. However, she has used her E and now it looks like Jarvan isn't going to get quite close enough.
I think Maroon needs to quickly shift, Jax included, down to bot. This is a Drake that's hard to contest with the current map state, but you don't want to be giving them soul point immediately. You want to buy yourself some more time to scale.
Or having a team that does damage with a Syndra and these other champions getting Fire Drakes. If you don't want them getting Infernal or close to it. And it looks like, sadly, that is not going to be the case, but they are going for, I think, was that a second Herald?
Interesting teleport there. I guess it was a Syndra TP, but Maroon wasn't close enough to really contest it, so it seemed like a.
But again,
hasty.
replay new, and so this is going to be a potential
Right,
movement
this will be
right
on.
there.
All right, here comes Jack's moment.
All right, and Jarvan singles out 3 different people. Jax
go.
goes in, goes 2 for 1. Twitch comes in from the
Twitch.
back though.
Firing away, safe, uncontested. Ooh.
Ooh, okay, and that evens it out, a 2 for 2. Both
Shut
top
down went to
laners
Graves,
gone.
and I think that Maroon is okay with that. I think they would rather see it on Graves opposed to Syndra or Sivir.
Yes. Sivir still is now 2-0 and 1.
On a
Sadly, we
reset,
lost
she
our
should have
jungler.
Mythic. Nope, not quite.
She'll be
What is she
going
building
for Mythic
next?
pretty quick though.
I'm trying to think, what BF sword? Is she just going Bloodthirster?
Bloodthirster. That's an interesting pick. I wouldn't have necessarily gone
I see the
Bloodthirster.
Caulfields and the Crit Cloak. Is there a BF sword in the Quick Blades? It's not an item I regularly build.
I don't think so. I wouldn't go Quick Blades on Sivir anyways, actually. But I mean, you see all these different types of builds that somehow work all the time. I don't agree with Kled's Ravenous Hydra first either. But, I mean, it's a good item, so, I mean, I agree with the item. I just don't necessarily agree with it first, especially when you're losing.
I think that seems like more of an autopilot buy because on Kled, you want to be split pushing. But given how the lane went, Kled doesn't want to put his focus on split pushing right now.
No,
He wants to
not.
try and prevent the Jax from taking as much as possible while hovering in range to ult for his team because he just needs to, not to be rude, but, you know, get carried. He needs to allow the Syndra and Syndra to run away with the game. He's basically just a second tank support at the moment.
Yes, that was a sneaky, it was a very sneaky play, a very well-timed play by the Syndra, taking the blast cone over and stunning Orianna into the wall. And even though I'm not on their team, I still respect it when I see it. Ooh, this is a double for Jax.
Graves with the Ghost Blade to get away.
Now, Jax's rework isn't out yet, right?
I think it's just a visual rework that's coming, but no, it's not quite live. I think that's coming next patch.
Oh, this is going to be a pick on our Twitch.
That's that QE range that we were talking about as the match was loading in. If Syndra, it's got more range than you think, and when she catches someone with it, at this point, if it's not Jax, they're probably dead. I think it could even burst out Jarvan since he's going the lethality route.
Yes, Jarvan is going to be doing a lot of damage, but is definitely squishy. And in my experience, nothing, you know, like it can go either way, but usually a damaged Jarvan is scary, but a tank Jarvan is one that is a lot more scary over time.
Yeah. Tank Jarvan is just, he's in your face constantly. He might not immediately kill you, but it's going to happen eventually. It's like a Mundo.
Yes.
He'll get you eventually.
And that's something that I think that UMT needs to keep in mind for sure. That, I mean, it's not the most useful thing, but if they need to change items midway and be like, okay, let's just grab 2 or 3 tank items, it's a terrible thing to do, but oh man, please do it sometimes. And
yeah,
it looks like Jax
it's also
is
interesting. While I thought Amumu's choice of Keystone was strange, also seeing that Jarvan's going lethality, I don't know if Conquer is the right play if he planned to burst out. That might have been more of a press the attack. Or
I would agree with press the attack. It's one of my favorite runes. Like people that shouldn't work on it does.
Yeah.
Like,
and don't get me wrong, Conquer is a great rune on Jarvan, but it's best suited to when you're playing the more bruisery playstyle.
Exactly.
And he's trying to play himself like lethality. Jarvan is more of an assassin.
Like I would expect to see Conquer more on the types of builds and players like Rivens, Aatrox.
And even with the Shojin's Gore Drinker, just something where you're just trying to take up space. Conquer gets stacked and it stays stacked because you're permanently in the fight.
Exactly.
With this, he's looking to EQN ults with just all that burst damage from Jarvan paired with the Orianna wombo as well.
So just looking kind of at the items that we have here, it looks like Melio is there's definitely a gold discrepancy in the bot laners. Twitch definitely has 2 items, but Sivir's sitting on 3 plus some. Okay, here's our next battle. DK goes straight on to using that wall as a barrier. Very smart.
Oh, Maroon makes it out alive, but that will be Soul. I know DK's Jarvan's gonna look for the hero play here, but
not if they can get to it
got
first.
enough vision that it sucks, but he's just gonna have to accept that they got it. Now he's giving his life as well. But he pulled the Syndra away far enough that we might get some cleanup, and might get some kills onto Twitch here. There was that Zonia's on Jax we were talking about as
goodness.
well.
Yeah, no, that was
stopwatch, but
what was really smart about that play is that the 2 that went after Jarvan left only 3 in the pit, so the other 4 team members could go and collapse on them. I was like, no way.
The slight delay. I'm like, that's got to be on like 2 HP.
Yeah, sorry, we both went silent there. We were like, hold on, we weren't sure what we were seeing. Like, did Syndra hit him, or is he just getting? Is that shield that big? But Twitch is going to start to ramp up in damage. He's only behind 20 CS, and even though behind an item, once Twitch starts getting damage, he already has the Blade of the Ruin King. He has other attack speed items. He can really melt some of their tanks. Amumu and Kled going to be the main ones. But that being said, he can still tear through Syndra and Sivir.
Yeah, if Jax, Jarvan, if they're able to hop onto the squishies, they'll be able to delete them. It looks like they've got maybe 2 minutes or so, a minute and a half, as an opportunity to get Syndra while her flashes down. She got caught out last engagement before Drake and was able to flash out to safety. If they can try to find another pick on her before the flash is up, they'll be able to get the shutdown.
Which is what I would really, I mean, 300 gold is 300 gold, and that's not a small bounty at least.
Yeah, and that's going to be, what, a 350 bounty, so that's a 650 total, or is that
That is about a 650 total bounty, yep.
It makes more sense on the Orianna for the Liandry's because they have quite large health pools on the enemy team. I don't really understand the Syndra going Liandry's, though.
Yeah, I don't.
Her whole shtick is burst, and Jax is like the biggest health pool, especially with the lethality Jarvan. So I think that might have been more of a what is that?
Caution, maybe. That is the Liandry's tells me that that is more of a cautious play than anything. Oh, here's going to be a dead Kled.
Oh,
there's
a
no
Jax
way.
in that bush.
But there's also a Syndra. Oh, that Syndra is just massive. Oh, that is an unfortunate teleport.
That's going to be Baron for New Mexico.
That was a good call that you did say at the very first, that you were thinking that Syndra's going to be the power player here. Because right now she is a menace.
Yeah, no, she's steamroll, and that's why again I'm a little confused on the Liandry's. If she would have went to Luden's just for the raw magic pen.
Yeah, and you can see her going Rabadon's Death Cap next.
Yeah.
And that with the Cosmic Drive. The Cosmic Drive is one of the most underrated items, I think, in all of League of Legends. Like, Lilia uses it, but anybody that can legitimately use that item, they just roam. They just run around like a happy camper.
There should be a Death Cap in base for Syndra as well. So,
which puts her at 4-item Syndra, which is very powerful. Sivir almost up to 4 items. Graves sitting comfortably on 3. Kled very much behind. Jax right now, I believe, is the furthest ahead on the team. Twitch, however, gaining back a lot of CS, very needed CS, now on 3 items plus some. Looking like maybe an Infinity Edge coming next for him. I mean, it is a pickaxe. I never really know.
The latest updates, that pickaxe goes into nearly every 80 item.
And I always question.
If it doesn't have a pickaxe, it's got a Caulfield.
Yeah, it is. Caulfields and pickaxe. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, that Syndra burst is really, really hard. I wonder if instead of going Liandry's on Orianna, even though they have 2 tanks, if this is terrible, but like Crown for Orianna just to avoid that burst.
I could see the Crown, and they don't have, like, Syndra's really their only range. Oh, just one Q with half of Jarvan's health there.
Oh, that Syndra is a little too powerful.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with that. Ooh, and they were able to force out Ori's ult.
There goes Switch.
They're disengage and they're re-engage. Just with the Amumu
It's tough
Q.
with the Syndra ahead. Literally any CC hits, it doesn't even have to be hers. And if she's in range, it goes down. That is the one downside to
Amumu down. Oh, that was a very good stopwatch. They're just already in base.
All right, so it looks like New Mexico's going to take game 1 here. Do you think going into game 2, they're going to look to ban out the Syndra, or do they just say, hey, we misplayed early, we can beat this?
I think that they can. I think they can because knowing Lucifer has command over a good many champions in the mid lane. And I know that if anyone can pull off a different champion, even if they want to stick with Ori, that he'll be able to learn from that past mistake 100%. All right, we're going to go on to break while we wait for the teams to get set up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Also, thank you so much for dealing with our random banter on League of Legends and our very much correct and non-biased opinions. Okay. What's up, fam? My name is the Elementalist. Welcome back. We are here for game 2 between UMT, Griz, Maroon, and NMT. We had a rough game last time.
I think it was a decent game overall, but once the Syndra got ahead, we didn't have any answers for it. So, we got a Syndra ban this time. Maroon said, you know what? No, we're not dealing with the I get hit by stun, I'm dead. So we'll have to see how New Mexico adapts and what the draft is looking like. Again, a Taric ban they really do not want. Nayanar on Taric, understandable. If you look at her match history, she has a very good win rate with it.
Which is interesting. This is one of the things that I love about win rates and banning. It's just like if you just look at win rates, you see like the last like X amount, right? So like, what if you play all the supports though? Like, yeah, my main for 10 years was this one champion, but I haven't played him for a year.
and that's I think Naya just picked up Taric like a week and a half ago.
Yep.
She just started, and it's a champion that she's really been enjoying.
Which is interesting. So as you can see here, with especially UMT, they're definitely targeting that mid laner. Victor's gone, Ryze, Syndra. They're trying to really gut that mid lane so that they can open up the pressure on the map and not just be controlled. Because honestly, the Syndra was controlling that whole center area of the map.
Syndra was definitely the power pick for their team last round on New Mexico. They went for the Kled Jarvan. Oh, well, it's a Jarvan on New Mexico side this time, but they went for Kled again. They're just trying to run that one back. Interesting that Maroon decided to pick up Sivir first pick. Maybe they're just trying to deny the safety net because she's such a safe.
And it's possible that they are also wanting to be like, hey, let's us be the more offensive and let's us win our lanes.
And I like seeing the Poppy into Jarvan. She's able to deny that flag and drag initiate. 1W makes half the champions in League of Legends said. Riot likes to make champions with dash, and Poppy likes to see champions with dash.
Now, there may be quite a few people that, watch this and they're like, oh yeah, that Poppy W, but you may not remember the Poppy before her rework.
Oh, and you push R and no one can touch you. But
not even towers. And you could kill anybody. It was glorious. And then they're like, no, we don't want that. And then they made her almost worse in a different way.
It is kind of strange that New Mexico chose to ban out bottom and mid again with how much trouble they had
with top lane. Yeah,
and it looks like it's that handshake again, Jackson to Kled. So
there's another of those Kaisa bans too.
We might see if they start to regret it.
Yeah, so there was an Ashe ban last time, but NMT has now taken up Ashe. So maybe that ban was strategic on. I think that banned it last time. I'm not quite sure. I don't really remember. But I know that Ashe was a ban.
We have openings that are mirrored. Again, last time it was bottom lane for 4-5, and this time it is mid support for 5.
Malzahar ban. That's an interesting one. You wouldn't really pick Malzahar as like an Orianna
especially
ban.
With the picks that they currently have.
This is almost purely mid lane bans, except for those 3 by
it really makes sense because if UMT is able to alleviate pressure from mid and just give Lucifer a safe lane, even one that he gets to bully, it'll give their jungler, with this time Poppy, replay DK, all the time in the world to focus bottom and really try and set up their bottom for success.
Which is that's something that I would really like to see. And I know that he has the potential to do it because I've seen it firsthand. It is really sad that they banned out Morgana because Morgana is one of the best picks into heavy CC like that. Like Ashe has an immediate stun on that R. They just have someone that's beginning to gank, bam, Ashe R, and she doesn't need to do anything else except for auto attack on that person. So that is kind of unfortunate. That's a smart play on their part, but we'll see because there are other champions that can do it because Sivir can still that spell shield that.
The arrow is going to have to be saved. I mean, I think New Mexico's best bet here, even though they already have 2 engage, is to pick an engage support lane. Looks like we don't have a Nautilus ban, no Thresh, no Blitz. So Sivir's spell shield, if they're looking to try and get value out of the Ashe arrow, they need to have multiple CCs so it can only block 1.
Yes, and I'm hoping that this game, especially seeing their team as it stands, that Sivir is going to become that tank melter that they're going to really need because Kled is just going to be a beefy boy. Jarvan, depending on the build, and then Nautilus, we all know he just never dies.
He doesn't die. He has point-and-click CC that you cannot escape. That can hit the whole team on the way.
And he has 3 roots.
He offers a lot. A lot of CC.
There's our 2. Look at
Sejuani,
that.
Rel. Interesting. So we've got. I think that's going to be a Sejuani mid.
Oh, not Sedge.
Oh, okay. I was like, I know that Lucifer plays it. I don't know about.
See, Sejuani is
'cause
one of
they-
my favorite
I don't know if I would
champions.
blind pick it because they haven't picked a mid laner yet.
Even though like I've switched both of my roles to ADC and support, like those are my things. Like I jungled for so long, and Sejuani is one of my comfort champs. I love just putting on that skin where she's just riding a little Poro and just roaming around the map, just smacking into people. That is
So New Mexico picks up Lee Sin, which actually.
Also is
Oh my goodness. Well, I was going to speculate that Nautilus was mid, and they just kind of like flex it to make it look like support. Because AP Nautilus, you just play as the enabler. You set up the fights.
I'm thinking that it's going to be a Rel Sivir bot lane, Poppy jungle, Jax top, Sejuani mid.
But Sejuani's not an actual pick. So
it was an accident.
yeah.
Rel
So
was-
we're waiting to see what the actual picks are. But that's what I would assume given what we have on the table, and I think that would be a fun one.
I'm still gonna pretend like it is. Nah, I'm just playing here. But I still love saying that Rel and just seeing Rel be picked in real like competitive games. 'Cause
She's in the jungle now too.
I know it's great.
She's such a fun champion, especially because she used to be
she
so
was a-
hindered by the movement speed when you were dismounted.
She was
That
garbage.
if you didn't kill him like in that initial crash ult, you were just like,
It's just like, all right, kill me as I go very slowly.
better call an Uber. I'm not making it back anytime soon.
100%. All right. It looks like
So it looks like we've got a Vex mid instead for UM.
Yeah. And then they are still waiting on the 5th.
Oh, and then they're waiting to see because they technically got counterpick, so they were looking to see what they're going to pick into Vex.
hey, look, we have 3 emeralds though. That's really good. And we got a diamond. I'm so proud of them. Here I am just bouncing around in plat.
Yeah, for quite some time, I would just do like the bare minimum, park my accounts in gold for this skin, and be like, all right, I'm done.
That's what I did because I'm like, yeah, it takes so much time, and then you'll like win 5, lose 10, and then like you'll win, or it'll just be like the win 1, lose 2, win 2, lose 1, and just like whoa, and so then you're like, how do I have over 4,000 games? Like,
In New Mexico, looks like they made their pick to be Cassiopeia. So, trying to remember the draft, we've got Jax in the top lane. Our jungler was Poppy.
We have
Vex?
Sejuani. No, not Sejuani.
Vex
it's-
mid.
Yes, Vex.
Who was our support?
Rel.
Rel.
Rel is our support.
Rel, and then
Rel
Stivir.
Stiver.
So, in terms of raw value out of Cassiopeia's W that drowns, it can stop
Can it stop the Kled ult? I don't know if I've
Cled's
ever
on their
actually.
team, but no.
No.
It might. I don't know if it's able to stop him from casting. That is interesting. I'd have to,
It does.
does.
I don't know if I've ever actually like I've
because I know he's like unstoppable, but it is a mobility button, so I guess that makes sense.
well I know that Cassiopeia is one of my favorite picks to pick into Vi.
I'm a Silas enjoyer, so when I see a Cassiopeia, I am really sad. 'Cause
It's a silence.
half of my buttons I don't get to use in that pool because
Yeah.
the W is technically a dash as well. So.
Yeah, and Kiana's a sad one. Whenever I see a Cassiopeia, I'm like, okay, I just want to have fun.
So we're gonna wait for the draft to actually resolve here in the proper picks because now that they're in league client, it will.
I'm going to pretend as if I didn't know. So whoa, a Jax, a Poppy, a Vex, whoa!
These guys are really quick on their picks and bans.
I know this is amazing.
They know exactly what they want to play.
They have a lot of very good engage for UM, and frankly, both teams have very good engage. Cassiopeia has a very good disengage though.
Yeah, and New Mexico has similar levels. I mean, they have a little bit more engaged as they have the Jarvan paired with the Kled, but I don't know if we even saw a Kled R last game. I don't remember seeing it other than him trying to run away with it.
I did see Jax destroy the Kled as
Yeah.
the art.
I don't remember ever seeing it as like an initiate tool
Yeah,
once
I
they
didn't
started
either.
grouping. But also, if Syndra hit E, that they were just like, okay, we win.
Yeah, this one right here, a good Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is one of like if I really want to feel like I can 1v9 in a game, Cassiopeia is one of those mages that can get there, especially if you're able to spiral. So it'll be very good for Vex and Poppy to kind of make sure that that mid lane is under Vex's control.
Going back and forth here, as far as the jungle goes, this should be a bot focus for the replay DK. He should be looking to try to punish the Ashe Nautilus. He can stop Nautilus from running with his hook to a wall, as well as like prevent some engage. Once they hit 6, it is going to be spooky because, as you mentioned earlier, Ashe sends an arrow. If Sivir doesn't have the reflexes to spell shield it, or she already spell shielded any of the CC from Nautilus, it's pretty easy. If Ashe hits it, then Nautilus is going to hit all of his buttons.
Especially with a good gank from Jarvan, because Sivir's going to have to do like really have fancy feet, because there's the Jarvan knockup, there's 3 from Nautilus and an Ashe R. All just a hit. Or, Rel can be a hero and YOLO right in front of all of those. Which is possible to happen.
And there is some really good synergy with the Rel Sivir when it comes to team fights as well, because Rel crashes in, does Magnet Storm, and now Ricochet is getting so much value out of Sivir. Like, she gets to hit everything.
The potential for a good wombo between if Rel gets a good ult off and then Jax stuns after that as well, could be incredible with a Poppy knockup. Like they have some
Vex
good stuff.
R-ing in, AoE Fear. Like they have some really good CC if they're able to line it up. It's going to be on New Mexico to not overgroup and dogpile to enable that. And I think most of New Mexico's plan is going to be, again, their mid laner is going to have to be the true carry and look for Ashe to make the picks and Jarvan setting up.
I agree. I'm hoping, again, this is just because I had a little stint running around in top lane. I'm really hoping that top lane can be the wet noodle fight, and then Jax being the wet noodle to sword kind of thing can just really get rolling, because we both saw last time that Jax, they know each other now.
Yeah.
Like Jax knows that they can take out Kled. They know it, and Kled knows it too.
The important thing will be if Kled can identify how aggressive Jax is going to be and sync up with his jungler and actually bait him into. Because if you're able to bait Jax early, he won't win that. He shouldn't win the 2v1.
If there's good vision too, I would love to see Kled try to, air quotes, bait Jax in, but Poppy's waiting too.
Yeah.
Because then they both, like, Poppy gets in there with a good EW, and then Jarvan and Kled are in trouble.
And some like hidden synergy as far as Jarvan goes. If he ults in, that gives Poppy a wall to stun into.
I know, I didn't even think about that.
Like, I had an amusing moment when I was playing Briar the other day. I was channeling upper E, and it throws people. Well, the enemy Anivia threw up a wall to try and block my escape, and I threw 4 people into the wall.
That's amazing.
There's the walls that you throw up that you think are helping, but it becomes like a Riddick moment where it's like, you're stuck here with me.
See, I've done the same thing as Poppy again, because like anybody in that can play jungle, I've definitely done it. But like with Orns, they'll bring up the little terrain or like a trundle, and I just smash them into it, and I'm like, this shouldn't work, but it did. It's just like, dang, I didn't even think about that hidden synergy. So that could be like Jarvan could be like the whole I'm helping, and then actually do something bad. So that's a good thing.
One of the big targets for the Poppy R is going to be Cassiopeia every time. Cassiopeia is the biggest threat they have, as far as she just gets to constantly be spitting out damage. So if he's able to knock her out of the fight, I think it'll be a one-team fight. They either need to pick her or just get her out of the fight.
There's that thing too, because in my little crow brain, as I'm thinking, okay, who do I need to eliminate with a Poppy R? It's like you said, get either Cassiopeia out of the fight or somehow get both tanks gone. And then they're like, oh, you don't have anybody to shield you. Oh no. But that's probably not going to be as easy to do.
Yeah, it's much easier said than done. It's a very fast champion. There's always the summoners. And
especially if she brings
in the
Ghost.
moment too, you always want to go, I could hit 3,
Mm.
but it takes a lot of discipline to know that I need to hit the one that matters. We
It'll be-
can kill these 3. That one has to go.
Yes, exactly. I think it'll be interesting to see what masteries and what summoner spells that they also go on them, because as far as like Cassiopeia goes, like you said, very quick champion. The movement speed is built into her kit, slower early but super fast later. But if they have Ghost like teleport, that'll be rough, because then like she's everywhere.
Yeah. And I think Ghost is a pretty standard pickup on Cassio.
It is, which
she's
is
a lot of
rough.
Built-in mobility. We should have our client pop in any second now as we hit the rift.
Even if it's not, these people like to talk with us. It's all right. I'm going to tell myself that, and I'm going to assume that you guys also love us. And we're off to the races.
It looks like they're going for an aggressive invade this time around. UMT has decided, you know what? We're not going to just sit this one by. We're going to
They've got
come out
blood in their
swinging.
eyes.
So it would feel bad to start with E as Poppy. I know when I play Silas, bottom, jungle, wherever I play him, you always start with E.
Yeah.
So I always look for the Ashe standing in that spot and just jump out and, surprise. Even if I don't kill him, usually burn a flash, get some first strike gold. But if they were looking for a cheese, it would have to be really on point. I'm glad they didn't decide to go for it, because I think they'd have to invest too many summoners just to maybe get her.
I would think that too. I think one of my favorite cheeses I've ever seen was in, who was it? It was one of the pro play teams. They all hid in the bot bush. There was 5 of them, other side. And they just let their buffs just sit there. They just all waited there until they came, and they just murked them. And I was like, oh, and then he went and got his red, and I was like, that was stupid, but it worked. And so like, that's one of my favorite cheeses, but you never really know here.
And it's one of those, like, it only ever works once in a competitive environment, because the enemy team, when something like that happens, it's like traumatizing. You're like, I'm never letting this happen again. I'm putting a ward in. We're finding them first. We're not walking forward until we see someone.
Yep. And then that Kled's going to try to fight Jax, and Jax knows. Jax knows that that he has the advantage.
Bone plating's gone. We'll see if he goes back into harass. Should get level 2 and maybe bully him a little bit more.
I think that this is as much as I love playing tank bot laners or tank supports. It is just so rough whenever the ADC is like, I know I have to get farm, but you have to get so close to the other minions.
Yeah.
And so like, I would love to see Sivir poked out that Nautilus, force him to use that W or other things so that he can't be as effective.
So Cassiopeia is getting control of the lane early. Another. I don't know if it's a straight counter to Vex, but it's another bully lane. Cassiopeia should have priority in the early levels.
I think it's also like Lucifer has a couple of things that they need to overcome. One, playing a game against someone that they got an advantage on you. You have to get over a mental wall of like, okay, now it's my turn to win.
Yeah, there is some shrug it off, go next. Don't dwell.
100%. Which is
But
why
sometimes, you take that fire and you're like, you know what? Not this time.
right? Like you have to have your own little anime moment.
Yeah.
where you stand up and be like, I am the main hero here. This, I've reached my level 15 power spike. Or just be like, treat every game as a Yasuo game. Like, yes, I know I have 13 deaths, but now I have reached my power spike.
Yeah.
I know that I'm playing on some other champion, but it's still the same.
So Kled's got some good vision. He's got Jax pushed under tower, but he's got the ward to let him know if Poppy's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think he probably could have put a little further down the river.
It's a really unfortunate little thing going on here in the mid that Cassiopeia's here's an early gank. We'll get back to that mid here in a second. Rel, as that CC is just everywhere. But Rel's
Burn the
able to
flash,
make it
but-
out.
Did they have to heal as well, or just the flash there?
It was
they burned
heal as well.
heal to be safe.
Heal and flash. But that was good because, and then that counter gank up top, if they can just take Kled off of that,
And
there
I
you
think
go.
Kled dies here because he was greedy with his dash. He didn't quite let the Poppy W go down, and he actually got the stun.
And there it is. First blood with Poppy Flash.
Oh, they're coming back though. This is you got.
This is going to force a
let
Sivir
it
Flash
happen.
out, I think, maybe. No, it's just going to be down to Rel.
Yeah.
Which and Rel kept Ignite. She was very, very calm as she knows, like, yep.
Once
got
they
me.
saw the flag, I was like, okay, I'm dead here. I don't think Jarvan even needed to be there, to be honest.
No, I don't
Jarvan
think
being
so,
there
too.
made it to where Sivir couldn't try and trade back. But that's the power of Nautilus early. He's so beefy. I agree with Aftershock this time.
Yes. No, I agree 100%. Like that, I don't really know a lot of other runes that would go well on
Like,
Nautilus.
you could go Glacial
well.
on him as well, but it's just
It's just so good.
if you run Aftershock, you don't have to pop that shield as early. Like you can kind of buffer it with, because it's also an auto reset. So you can land the hook, get the auto for the root, and then by that time Aftershock is faded, then you pop your W for the auto reset and for the extra durability.
Well, if you live forever already, then like why not live more forever?
Exactly.
That's how I look at it. And I think that right now, like it looks a little bit. I mean, there's a 500 gold disparity there, but a lot of it is actually in the mid lane. But there's a little bit down in the bot lane. Top lane again is it looks can be deceiving, but top lane is definitely has an edge. Mid, I'm a little bit worried again, just because Cassio was able to bully Vex just enough and keep her CS down.
The advantage that we have this time, though, is Vex has the mobility of if she hits the R, she gets to go in.
Yeah.
Ori is, while Vex doesn't have a dash by default, Vex can play safe and safer back and still contribute to a fight once it starts off.
And
Whereas
then
the
just
problem with
going in.
Ori is if you do the combo, you have to be in range of the Jarvan initiating to have your shield not bounce back to you.
And I think that'll be a good thing too, especially if Poppy comes in, starts doing damage, and then Vex can come in and finish off things.
Yes, and the one downside for the top matchup is that DK did get the kill instead of Jax. It was nice that they were able to return it.
Oh, and there we go, the Poppy onto
That's a
the
little bit of
Cassiopeia.
harass, but yeah, I was gonna say you don't
One thing
win that
I
as
am-
Poppy, sadly.
I am happy to see that Cassiopeia did not take Ghost. There's Flash and Teleport on that Cassiopeia, and she has Phase Rush. I actually really like Conqueror on Cassiopeia.
Yeah, generally you do generally see Conquer. I don't know. Maybe she took the phase rush in place of running Ghost instead. She has Flash as the security blanket.
That was a very good dodge by Sivir.
It was. She.
Ooh, that early. That was a good move on Nautilus too. Immediately rooting her and then Ashe switching right over to them.
It looks like New Mexico did kind of rush this play. I know it's not. You can't always just be like, well, I'm gonna hook once you're here, when the opportunity presents itself. I mean,
Yeah.
they get the pressure of pushing her out of lane. She has to go back. She's gonna miss some CS.
Well, it was unfortunate
Lucifer
too.
is here to pick it up though.
Which is that is very good. Poppy's picking up the stuff in the mid lane, making sure that no CS
I
goes
think
to
they're-
waste.
he's hesitant to jump on the Ashe because they don't know if Jarvan actually reset or not. I was kind of hoping to see a Vex R, but as the spectators, we know Jarvan's not there, so he has to play a bit more reserved with the information he has.
Well, looking at everything too, just as a vision game, it seems that Red has a very good vision game everywhere in the bot lane. We know that they're winning down bot lane currently, but like they just have good wards so they can keep that vision and have it there, and that comes with the territory of being pushed in, right? You can't put those exploratory wards if you're at your turret.
Yeah, and while Sivir does push lane and generally gets prio, Nautilus is one of the biggest bullies of bot lane. It's hard to safely get prio against a Nautilus, and they also had the benefit of Jarvan ganking and then looping back to gank again.
See, what would be annoying is if Ashe was like, there's enough CC in my bot lane that I'm going to just recall and send an arrow down mid. Like, may as
The ones
well,
that
right?
you just launch, you're like, if it hits, you'll get a kill.
I'll get it in 50 seconds. It's fine. But this Cassiopeia is, I really think that Vex can take her, but right now, Cassiopeia does have the damage advantage. And Jack's making sure that he puts Kled in his place.
Jarvan's looking to dive this. They should dive Sivir. I don't know. I can't see at the moment.
Rel
It
is
doesn't
up.
look like Red has any vision.
It looks like Rel is coming around, so they can go and get the Cassiopeia. Oh, this is going to be. Is this? No, they don't have flash on them.
But
But
Jarvan's
Jarvan's
almost
there.
died.
Ooh, that was.
Oh,
There we
that
go.
was-
There we go. Oh,
There's the Ash arrow.
Ash arrow.
And that was the unfortunate. Oop. Does he live? No.
Oh, dang. double kill on that. That was really unfortunate that Jarvan was able to come back and that Cassiopeia was able to get a 3-man stun.
Yeah.
And they were
It's-
all facing
It
them.
always it's difficult chasing a Cassio because she will just stun and probably kill one of you and still walk away.
Mhm.
Jack's winning in top lane. It's great to see that one.
I didn't have a single doubt that was what's going to happen. I just
Yeah, he won the handshake the first time, so I had full faith Jax is going to win it this time.
I am questionable as to why the Nautilus didn't get tower aggro there though. Like I could have sworn that they were in the radius of the tower, and I don't think
You
from
know what? When I'm playing, it feels like the range is doubled. And then when I'm against them, that happens. You're like, how did the tower not shoot him?
Now
But-
this it looks like there's a Jarvan there for. Looks like Vex doesn't have flash or anything. They took a lot of advantage against that. Poppy keeping the Nautilus in.
Oh,
Looks like they're
not
going
missed the
straight
hook,
for
so
Nautilus.
It should be his life for it. Yeah, they got him.
There we go.
They need
Rel-
to not
oh, that's
overcommit to this though,
Ash
because
Fash.
Jarvan is on his way, and Sivir is
That is
a
three.
flag from death.
3 low. There you go. Replays keeping her away from.
Interesting.
Oh,
he was
that's
greedy
going to be
for
a
it.
dead. That's going to be a dead Sivir too. Well, that was unfortunate timing on the side of.
Yeah, Jarvan was he
You,
was able to get that pressure mid. They caught out the Vex. When you're champion without dashes and Jarvan ults you, it just kind of feels bad.
Yeah, and it's hard too because no flash, but
Oh, we got an
I've-
arrow downtown. Is it gonna hit the Jax?
Oh my gosh!
Ooh,
Oh,
very close.
My gosh, that would have been a 3-second stun.
Yeah, we didn't get it from Fountain, but might as well have been.
No, really, like Ash is like look, her ult's already almost a fourth of the way on cooldown. And Cassio is looking to spread her lead up top. That is not something that I want to see. I wish that Cassio, but that is allowing the Vex to farm without
it-
being bullied.
It's gonna give Vex some breathing room. He might be able to get a plate out of this.
I'm
Looks like
hoping.
on the recall, Jarvan's getting a camp. He should get some plates, get some gold to help put himself in a bit better position for the fights to come.
And
We got-
Cassiopeia's teleport is not up right now, so that is good. And they are using.
I don't know if Vex
Another
gets any of
Herald.
this plate gold now.
Oh, that's so
I do like
sad.
the pressure. However, the tower's not low enough to actually threaten the destruction of it. So if they can get enough damage to kill this before the team shows up, it's really the Cassio.
Oh man, and that Poppy ult wasn't able to go off right there, sadly. Two
They
kills
think of the
on
teleport
Ash.
from
It looked
Kled?
like
Is that
a
what happened?
yes.
Oh no, he just showed up, ulted in.
Looks like that was a 4 for none. Sadly, that was a big turnaround
And I
on
think
NMT's
our
part.
Jax was only able to get one plate out of it as well. Cassio was able to
Teleport
teleport
in,
after the fact to deny that top pressure.
which is smart. I think that Cassiopeia is realizing that okay, if we don't stop Jax, Jax can at least keep them in the game to a point that my lead isn't going to mean much.
But since Cassio goes Rod and Seraph, I don't think even a Fed Jax is going to be able to stop this Cassio at this point.
It's possible.
It's
They're
going to
gonna
need to be a team effort. Like they're going to have to
Like,
combine
right
resources.
here.
And she's going to. I'm so afraid of an ult double kill here. It's Cassio's. She's just so scary to fight when you're ahead.
And it looks like they are switching lanes. Kled has had enough of Jax, and Jax is going to have to go against Cassiopeia. However, if this Cass is able to shut down Jax, it's going to be very difficult for our awesome Grizzlies to come back from this. Not impossible.
No, it is another rough start, but I have faith. I think that they're going to be able to.
We'll
if,
do
if
great.
they can execute one big combo, a big Vex and Rel letting Sivir.
CC wins games. You can be ahead and have a good play, and someone just use it right. And so I'm like, they can be ahead 15,000 for all I care. We still are in it.
If they can set up the CC and get this Sivir online, UMT can easily turn the tides here and run away with this game.
It will definitely hedge on taking some of their power players out. Cassiopeia is 2 levels ahead of our mid laner. And Jax is 2 levels, or not Jax, Jarvan is 2 levels ahead of our jungler. But again, was that a flash on Rel?
That was flash on Rel. I have the Poppy showing up.
There you go. Stay right ahead of
That
Nautilus.
was
There
very
you go.
well played. Well done by the Sivir there to force the.
And it looks like they all right. So UMT Fenrir has taken out.
Ooh, Vex just wide.
You know, after playing Briar, Vex seems like a very nerfed version of that R, huh?
Yes and no. Because as Briar, if you send your ult for, say, the Ashe, but you hit Kled instead, it kind of feels bad.
Oh, it feels bad,
I've
but
had-
like it's just the range. You know what I mean?
Yeah. At least Vex's is optional. And as far as the range goes, if you're in River and you throw your ult and miss the Jarvan, you hit the Nautilus and Fountain and you don't have a choice. You go and fight him.
But that's the beautiful part about it, though. It's just like, well, okay, I guess this is happening, and you just like take me.
That's part of what makes her so fun. Is those moments. Is there's no other champion that like if it hits, you're going no matter what.
100%.
It's got to be panic for both sides. I've had it playing where I hit like a Lux coming back from the Fountain. She's panicking because she knows she's gonna die. I'm panicking because
you know
now
you're
I'm
gonna
in their
die.
Fountain and I'm gonna die after.
And that's okay. It's just like, no one lives forever.
Oh man, that Nautilus hook range always feels so bad when things
Can
like
Rel
that hit.
jump? I don't think Rel's
She
going to be able to
just
get out of
dismounted trying to get out. Nautilus got like a tip of the hitbox.
this. Oh, that's unfortunate. Rel's still slow. Rel is very useful, but still very slow.
The cast does have 2 levels now.
And 2 solid items. Remember, Cass can't take boots,
Yeah,
so
she-
those 2 items,
she
gets a-
has that core. She's got the Seraphs and the Rod. She's gonna have probably close to a 3-level advantage because that Rod is at 6 stacks right now. Once it hits 10, gives you that free level.
Next, to make Cassiopeia just like I hate this champion is just one Rylai's, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you're not fun. Who hurt you when you were young? Like, stop this.
All right, so we got
2
a tier
towers
2 being
broke.
threatened. UMT was able to get Herald again this time, so hopefully they're able to flash out of Kled.
Jax still has his flash, and Jax has not yet died, and Jax is definitely making sure that Kled is a non-factor in this game.
He has done an exceptional job of just neutralizing, which last game was their only true engage. This time they have Jarvan. However, what I want to see out of Jax this time is really he's got a split push because
Mhm.
at the current map state, they don't win team fights. Cassiopeia's just gonna
She's just
spit
too
out all of her
everywhere.
damage. With those 2 items complete, you can't even really burst her out.
I'm not sure that they're going to even let this drag. I think they're going to let this dragon go because to fight right now, especially with Kled going down bottom, they don't know where Kled is.
Yeah, they need to concede this one, and they got some objective gold off of the tower.
Which is good. They need that objective bounty.
They did just Kled ult mid. They got the flash out of X. Rel was able to get out. The Herald
Took down almost
looks
most.
like they got mid tower and half of the tier 2, so we did get two Shelly charges.
Which
Yeah,
is
so-
good. That one more little hit on that tower. So that extra gold. That's one of the things I'm actually very glad that they did was bounties, relatively. But like objective bounties, awesome. Extra bounties on like I have a lot of kills sucks.
It does.
But
I
like
mean,
that
it makes
cast.
sense, but when you're really ahead, you want to push that
Mhm.
and you want to limit test and be like, oh, well, can I take on 4? But if you give that shutdown to the wrong person, suddenly the game's right back in it. for the other team.
100%. This is one of the things that I think that UMT can capitalize on because if they kill Cassiopeia and Ashe just one time, that is a 1,000. No, that's almost a 1,500 gold swing.
Yeah, one solid team fight, and that'll put them basically. I mean, they'll be down a little bit, but it'll
On par
near
almost,
nullify the gold there.
which is good. Right now, there's definite CS discrepancies, but again, and I bet you that Jax can actually. Jax is going to be able to take her if he can just
No.
reach. No, he can't.
He hasn't even popped the Seraphs. They did get the ult though, so that'll give. Oh, but Jarvan's on the way. He knows.
Oh, there's
they
the
got the
flash.
So they just need to make sure they make it out now. They
There
got
we
her ult. They
go.
got the flash. They got a lot of value out of that.
I cannot believe
Oh,
that
man.
Nautilus hook hit.
Yeah, they're always feel so. Ooh, Lucifer might be able to if he hits Ashe with this ult. That's a shutdown.
Nah,
I
yeah,
think it might even
is.
be worth the trade, but he decides not to go for it. Oh, they got the Jarvan. That
That's-
layered
that's a-
CC, that was played beautifully by
That
UMT
is a
there.
dead, very
Jarvan's
dead
looking at his
Jarvan.
death screen right now and showing it 5.5 seconds of stun. That was they all layered that perfectly, where there was almost no overlap, and he was not able to move the whole time.
That was very good on Vex. Vex, like one of the things that does have is they do have wave clear. Like Cassiopeia can clear things very quickly. True, Ashe somewhat, but like Sivir Vex can just eliminate a wave.
Yeah,
Just-
they're going to be really good at either sieging or, as you say, they'll be able to hold their towers, clear out the wave, not get the enemy team a lot to work on. New Mexico, even with Cassiopeia being ahead, they're going to need Baron to truly like siege.
They're gonna not only need that, they're gonna. I think at least that they're gonna want to try to beat them earlier rather than later, because the longer this game goes out, the more of an advantage is gonna have. A late game Jax, late game Vex, late game Poppy, late game Rel. Like yeah, late game Nautilus is definitely a thing. So is late game Cass, but like usually I'm not like, oh, a late game Jarvan. Like it's like depending on,
Yeah.
but like
Late game Jarvan takes up space. Early game Jarvan takes your life. Like he jumps
Yeah.
in, flag drag combo, sets up to where you've lost like 60% of your health, and all he has is his jungle item.
yeah, and then late game Jax, the late game Jax can just 1v5
Late game Jax,
and dive you under tower. And like,
terrifying. Sivir, terrifying. Vex, really bursty.
yeah,
I do think that Griz have scaling in their favor.
100%.
You can't shrug away the Ashe, though. Late game Ashe with items, you're permanently slowed.
And Ashe actually has as much as Cassiopeia is a problem. Ashe is also a problem. So it was probably a good ban that they did the first game was taking out Ashe. But that being said, we do have the power of Sivir R. Like you were saying, a really good engage can really change the whole face of this game.
And Ashe doesn't have a lot of like she gets to slow, but she doesn't have dashes. She's not the fastest champion. So it's really on her team as this game progresses. It's going to be less about Nautilus, Jarvan jumping in and starting these fights, as at least one of them is going to need to sit back and make sure Ashe is safe to fire.
That is
Because
true.
if Jax or Vex or anyone gets on her, she'll die. So it's early game Ashe or early game like Jarvan Nautilus. It's all about getting the picks, bursting out, setting up. But as the game goes, Griz have scaling in their favor, and they really need to protect the Cassio Ashe.
And right now, this is one of those that this coming battle is going to be one of the things that really make or break this game. Like it's either going to make it easier for us to overcome, or going to really it's almost a nail in the coffin, because this is Soul.
This is Soul Point. It's also Cloud Soul, which
Or this is a
Yeah.
Chemtech.
is it?
Yeah, that's a
Oh, I was
Chemtech
looking
drag.
at the icon in the top left there.
Yeah, the thing up there is
I was
definitely.
like, yeah, that's in the. I was looking at the overlay, not the map. So,
And
yes, it
Cassiopeia,
is Chemtech.
sadly, they do not have Jax. Cassiopeia is coming down, so it is a 4v5 right now.
What's going to decide this take is if DK is able to get his R off.
Oh, there's the
There's
Jax.
Vex
Oh,
initiate
there's
with
the
Rel
Rel.
combo. Now we just need Sivir to start swinging.
Oh, and Jax is on to the Ashe.
Oh, Jax
got the
right,
Ashe.
Let's go. Shut down on Ashe. Jarvan goes down as well.
Sivir takes out Jarvan.
They did get Jax, but Jax bought them so much time.
They took out two of their big
We still have
players right
Poppy
now.
R. Oh.
Oof. Oh, that is going to be maybe a dead Nautilus.
Oh, he got
and
it
then
though.
Poppy
DK
took
with the
it.
steal.
That was awesome. Good job, DK. Losing your life, but denying Soul and getting you another Chemtech
They
drink.
bought
That is
themselves
so...
5 more minutes of farming up waves, getting items.
And that was 1,000 gold for Jax, remember.
Yeah.
That is 1,000 gold. Plus some.
Yeah, because they didn't get the Cassio, but they did get the Ashe, and that was a big bounty.
That
And
was
it was on the scariest member of their team.
And Jarvan got taken out by Sivir. So the champions with kills that you would want to have kills, Sivir and Jax are two of the better ones. Obviously, we'd love them on Vex. That would be great, but man,
Oh, it looks like they're going to try and rush down the Baron here.
they
Honestly,
do see it this time.
I do think they'll get it. Like, that Ashe is just shredding. Yeah, yeah, they just have to give it. Oh no.
Oh man,
At
and
the,
the
at the
Vex
rough
got
engage,
stunned.
it was a desperation trying to stop it. They're trying to take Baron off as many as they can.
And Jax is doing a smart
Traded out
thing
the knot, but
and going back, and that is probably the smartest move that he could make.
yeah,
So even though it was a 4-for-1, like again, things can still they're still salvageable, and Jax is still a powerhouse to be feared. He's got his Sojins, he's got his Stride Breaker, like he's strong, and if he gets onto that Ashe, deletes her. And it's just the ability to be able to get onto him, and this
and
could
they
be
they
the
did
push.
get Cassio ult as well as Ashe ult in the pit.
And Jax does have his flash, so if he needs to go and flash in to stun people, he can. I don't think Cass's flash is back up, sadly.
Looks like New Mexico's not being too greedy. They're just taking the inhib and backing out.
Oh,
I know
they
when you're behind, it feels like you have to make that desperation play. But because they have such good wave clear, I think they could have given that Baron and survived the siege.
Mhm.
But I fully understand if we can catch them out and at least pull Baron off of them.
I'm
try and
not
make it like
sure
a net
that I'm
even.
not sure that Poppy or Rel's ult were up at that Baron fight either.
But Poppy's definitely wasn't. Brel, it's a decently low cooldown, so it might have been. But just walking into a Cassiopeia, Ashe, Nautilus, it's tough.
There's
if you're
a lot of
melee character,
slow.
you're not. She puts down the thing, so you can't even dash. It is very difficult to.
And sadly, Cassiopeia has her
looks like
4
they got-
items that just make her so vexed. This is gonna be there you go, ulting to be able to at least get a little bit further in. If you're gonna
It was
die, you
well
may as well
played.
go down.
He did all that he could with the cards he was dealt, but
I mean, like if you're gonna
they
go
brought the
down,
goon squad.
go down in glory, right? Like I die, my life for ire. Now, I don't know if Poppy's. Yeah, I was gonna say I would if I were them definitely back up right now. It would be so nice to be able to take that mid turret down. But whenever there are 5 people knocking on the bot lane and there's 2, so they're gonna try to go for the end right now. And if they don't jump in, they're gonna take that tower and then that's just open.
Well, sent out the Nautilus, got rid of one of the tanks, but there's that Cassio slow. No dashes, nothing to try and get in, so Nautilus is able to walk back. I think they got to do their best to try and clear this wave because
Again,
as we
they
were
are
saying earlier,
flashes.
they need Baron to really siege against this wave clear.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they both push 2 buttons.
As much as I don't want Jax, their main person to go in right now. Oh, there's Jax going in.
She did miss the ult. Maybe he gets a consolation kill on the Cass. Oh, she's just so beefy. It's so hard to take her down.
It really is.
With a Rylai's.
And it looks like that is going to sadly be our second game.
Well played to New Mexico. They did a great job of playing through mid. We might have taken a loss here today, but I think that the Grizzlies they had some really good moments. They just need to kind of pull it back in.
It's part mental, I think, because that first game, that there is momentum.
Yeah, there's definitely momentum, and it is a bit demoralizing when you have a Syndra run away with a game where you're like,
or Cassiopeia, and you're like,
Yeah.
crap, it's happening again. But that's one of the things that I love about League and hate about League is as much as it is a skill game, it is a very skill intensive game. It is a mental game that you can't always just be okay and overcome that mental game.
Yeah. They had really strong top lane. They're Kled as far as New Mexico's side. He was nullified. He didn't really get to play the game much. Jax just got to run away with that.
Yeah, in all honesty though, congratulations and great job to every single person that played in this game. We know that there's always going to be one winner and one loser, but every single person that did participate in this game did well. That's just the nature of League. Everybody that has played this game at one point in time knows that there are some days where you're the hammer and some days when you're definitely the nail. But that doesn't mean that you don't have your days and that you can't get better. And Grizzlies, great job.
Yeah, very well played. Well played by both teams. A lot of strength coming out of both sides. We'll have to hope for a rematch. We'll definitely get them next time.
Yep, and I will. I'm nice to UMT, not UMT. I'm nice to New Mexico, but I'm still going to be a little bit biased. But great job, guys. Great job to everybody. Good job, UM.